Welcome to WholeCEO with Lisa G. I'm the best-selling author of The Boss Weight Loss. I'm bringing you the top tips to be unstoppable. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to actually pull up a chair with today's top experts in weight loss, mindset, and business. Learn our top tips to set you up for success so that you can have more energy, be fit and resilient, and feel unstoppable. Welcome to WholeCEO with Lisa G, where you get the tips, tricks, and hacks to be unstoppable in business, wellness, and success. Today, I am so excited. We're here with Bendtzen, motivational trainer, speaker, life and business coach, founder and CEO of a company, LifeBacon. Love that name. And since everything is better with bacon, it's all about making life better. She's been featured on the List TV show, Fox TV, iHeartRadio, the Unstoppable Female Entrepreneur Summit, and is the host of her own show, Bacon TV and Bacon Radio podcast. Megan, welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's all about bacon.
It's all about bacon. I love it. I'm so happy to have you. Thank you for being here. I want to jump right into the content.
Yeah.
So let's just get started with, what was your biggest obstacle?
So this is like a lifelong struggle for me. It was this worry of regret and always feeling like my life is, that I was meant for something more than what I was doing, but not knowing what that is, not knowing how to start, being too afraid, and just feeling like life was passing me by. And so I always just had this fear of regret and why haven't I started anything? Why haven't I, written my book or started my business? Or, I call it life atrophy, where you're just kind of sitting on the sidelines and not really living to your potential.
Oh, I know that feeling. And so what did you do about it?
Oh my gosh, I'm like a personal growth junkie.
I love it.
I have taken more classes and courses and coaches and oh Lord, I think it was finally reaching a point. I started a business on the side. I had a career that I worked for 14 years, and I started this side business and was under the safety net because still had my job.
Right.
But I knew I wanted to start something, and it just finally reached a point where it was like, okay, I can't do both.
Right.
I've got
Burn the
one
boats.
leg in the
Right.
boat. Yes, and one on the dock, and it was
Right.
like, I gotta jump or, I'm just gonna sink. So last year, in the middle of the pandemic, I quit my freaking job. I walked away from my career
I
of
love
14
that.
years. Yeah,
You go, girl.
it was a scary thing.
And what would you say is a secret to being unstoppable?
Well, that's what gave me the fuel to actually take that leap and to walk away from my job. And it was when I discovered the key ingredients to living a passionate, purposeful life. And it all starts with bacon.
Oh my God, bacon. How does bacon come along to help you be unstoppable? I'm dying to see the tie-in here.
Yeah, yes, I know. And I wish that the answer is not, you don't get to eat bacon. I'm sorry to say.
Everyone loves bacon.
I know. So actually, BACON is an acronym, and it stands for, the B stands for brainstorm. And so that is where you figure out what you want, why you want it, and what
Right.
gets in the way.
I love it. So what's
And
stopping you is important. What do you want? Why do you want
yes,
it? And what gets in the way?
exactly. And sometimes people don't even think about what they really want. Like, they're not even clear on what their life looks like. So it's really brainstorming and thinking about, what do I want my life to look like? And
Right.
why do I want it? The why is super important, because that's your motivation.
Absolutely. It's all about the why. And then what's the rest of bacon?
Okay, so the A stands for accountability. And so if it's to be, it's up to me. And that's kind of diving underneath what stops you and
Right.
taking responsibility for your role and breaking through those barriers.
I love it. If
That's
it's to
that's
be,
the
it's
A.
up to me. Ah, see.
The C stands for committed action. And this is where, I mean, dreams stay dreams until you start taking action. You've got to start taking steps forward, and you've got to be committed, like relentlessly committed. So, um, for me, it's like if you if you don't actually start having courage and having belief in yourself, it's very hard to start taking steps forward. But the ironic thing is, once you start taking steps forward, your confidence builds and the
Exactly.
belief in yourself builds. So it's kind of a reciprocal thing that happens.
Yeah, it's all just a conversation until you start taking action, isn't it?
That's right. You can have all the plans and ideas in the world, but until you start moving forward, yeah, you're just standing still.
And let's see, where are we up to?
We're the O.
Oh,
How do
thank
you
you.
spell bacon? So the O stands for overjoyed. And that is where you bring in laughter and celebration and you access that kid inside, because joy is something that a lot of us tend to save for dessert. Like that's the
Right,
end result. That's what is to be earned.
right.
And it's really got to be part of the process, because if you don't take time to incorporate joy and happiness into your life, I mean, stress is a killer,
Oh, it
the
really is.
toll.
It really is.
Yeah, the toll it takes on your body and your mind. So to be able to actually take breaks and force yourself to experience some joy and some laughter actually will reduce your cortisol levels by 23%. It's
So
huge.
important. I love your focus on laughter, and I know you make these funny voices and crack me up. I've heard some of your videos on LifeBacon, and then let's see, what are we up to? N?
The N, yes, the N. I'll have to send you one of my little. You can interject my little high speed chipmunk voice.
I love
Okay,
that.
so the N. The N is what brings it full circle, and it stands for noble acts. And so that's where you generosity, gratitude, and you make an impact by paying it forward. So, if you make a difference for one person, you make a difference for the world. So it
I
really
love
kind of
that.
brings that whole process full circle.
I love that you're all out there about passion and joy and accountability, personal development, taking action, all of that, knowing your why. All that stuff is so important. And do you have any tips for our audience on how to be unstoppable? Any words of wisdom and things that you can share with us from your experience
Yeah,
of having the courage to do the step that you took?
I know. It really came from that. It really is the 5 steps to bacon. I mean, because it started with that vision that I had for my life and the realization that if I kept doing what I was doing, I was never going to get there. And
Right.
so then actually taking steps on that plan, and moving forward. And that's the scariest part. That action can be the hardest part. And like for my husband and I, we really got into this whole process of, we actually put flip charts like all over our house, and we put some music on and we ran around and just came up with what is that vision for our life? What are the steps that we need to take? And we are so freaking committed
I love it.
to these things that, we hold each other accountable. And so really like just having the vision and staying committed to it. Relentlessly commit. That's my word. That is what I always tell myself. I'm relentlessly committed. And committed means doing something even when you don't feel like it.
I love that.
And that's how you get there, is you
You have to
have to.
do the hard things
Yes.
when you're just rather like stay in bed, like you have to still get up and do what you're committed to. And I love that you and your husband share so much joy together. I think, and that you share the vision, that you co-created it. And that's really special because you guys must just like be laughing all the time and having fun. I can just get a vision of you
We
guys
do.
running around the house with your
I know.
charts.
I know, it's hilarious. And actually, that's my favorite thing. That's our favorite thing that we do together. We do laugh a lot together, and that's important. And so, I mean, if you have someone in your life that you can build that dream with, I mean, it really helps. And so if you don't, it definitely helps to either get an accountability buddy or a coach or someone that can, keep guiding you and lifting you and pushing you along.
And how important is it to just have that belief, like when you can just see the steps instead of the whole staircase, but you just keep on taking the steps? Like, how important is belief in your process?
It is huge. I mean, that it's very hard to take a step forward if you don't believe that you can. And so I always like to tell people, inch by inch, it's a cinch. And so just what's the smallest thing you can do today to move forward? Because if you can just take small steps every day, some people feel like, oh, I've got to go from 0 to 100, and do some
Everyone
big
feels that
crazy.
way, right?
Yeah,
No one has patience anymore.
right.
What are patience? I don't even know what they are.
Yeah, how do you get that? I'm the least patient person. So, I mean, the thing that keeps me moving forward and driving me is just knowing that these little steps are propelling me forward. And, you start to see things happen and you build that confidence and you build that muscle because it takes practice. You can't just leap, and expect it to be perfect because it won't. I mean, when I quit my job, that was definitely a big leap, but it's definitely been little steps and trying to figure out, okay, what am I doing? Where am I going? But I know I need to keep moving forward.
And I also love your emphasis on self-care because sometimes us like really driven types, we're just like never giving ourselves credit for all the baby steps we are taking in the action. So how important is self-care in your system?
Well, that's the O, right? That's bringing in that celebration and that joy and laughter because again, I used to be, and sometimes I still am guilty of this. I feel like I've got to finish this project. I've got to get through this before I can relax or celebrate or, treat myself or do something fun. But really, if you're in the middle of a really difficult project or goal or something, you've got to just step away because
Absolutely. I agree.
recharging and getting a little fresh perspective, you'll be able to come back to it with fresh energy, new eyes, a whole new level of, perspective.
I love this bacon theory. So let's go over it one more time and
The
leave
bacon
like
theory.
any last recap tips that you have for our audience.
Yeah, you bet. So again, the B is for brainstorm, and the A is accountability. The C is committed action. The O stands for overjoyed. And the N is for noble acts. And so, in a nutshell, it's figuring out what you want, why you want it, what gets in the way, and then taking responsibility for it and having the courage and the belief and the commitment to keep taking steps forward relentlessly with an attitude of gratitude and a whole lot of joy so that you have more satisfying relationships and you feel better about yourself and you're living your life with passion and purpose. And that is how you bring home the bacon.
LifeBacon, Megan Bendtzen, you are epic. And thank you for being here at WholeCEO with Lisa G. Where can people find you?
Well, if you just go to lifebacon.com, I actually have a free gift if your listeners would like. It's my free guide that explains further in depth these 5 steps to bacon. So lifebacon.com. I'm also on Instagram. I'm on Clubhouse. I'm on Facebook. So LifeBacon Megan. You can find me
LifeBacon,
there.
Megan, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you on WholeCEO with Lisa G.
Thank you.